The cap gun.
Use this thing, please. It's mine. Bigger than yours.
I'll take that.
What's happening, guys? So we are here for it seems like reactions galore
Again!
and this time we are going to be reacting to Don CFC Souness. I call him, that's the name I've got for him, Don Souness. Yeah, because he has the same kind of mentality as Souness, where just like Souness with Paul Pogba, you know, it was always about him. Everything was centered around him when talking about Man United and all that stuff. Man like Don Souness, he has that similar kind of mindset when it comes to Arsenal. No matter what Chelsea are doing or whatever, no matter what football discussions is, what always comes about is how Chelsea players are either not that far behind Arsenal players, or there's Chelsea players that are clearly better than Arsenal players. Yeah, but when you then talk to the same Chelsea fans and say, "Oh, well, your expectation should be to win the league, be in a title race," then they want to hold back and say, "Oh no, we ain't ready for that." And it's like, so you've got better players, probably a better manager and everything like that, but you don't know about being ready to try and win the league.
Shut your bitch ass up before I get to talking shit about you.
Yeah, quite strange, but you know, this is where we are. Anyways, the clip we're going to be reacting to is from Terry Flowers, you know, the Arsenal peddler. Yeah, and even though the Arsenal grift, this is where it comes in handy, because when somebody grifts so hard for a football club they don't support, at least they can defend against certain talking points that other rival fans may have against Arsenal. So we're going to talk about this right now. You get me? So let's talk about this. I'm sick of them sweatsuits and them corny hats. Let's talk about it. Right, let's get started.
The data doesn't support your narrative, because what Ferguson said was correct at the time. The last 10 Premier League winners, Ashraf actually, big up, he comes on the Football Terrace as well, did a check on this. I think it was either 7 or 8 of the last 10 Premier League winners have actually had the strongest attacks. Because last season, the strongest defense didn't win the league. The year before that, the strongest defense didn't win the league. So if we go by the attack narrative, we should be better than not.
No, but the thing is though, yeah, what did you say earlier? Terry, what did this guy say earlier, bro? I'm about to kill him with his own logic. This guy said, "Oh, we can't compete for nothing because we can't keep our goals." That's what you said, yeah? You said we can't keep our goals. Oh, you said, "Oh, we're scoring goals." You said we're scoring goals.
That's not what I said at all.
You literally said,
Don, I won't interrupt you, but don't change my word.
Hold on, Terry. Did he not say...
Don't change my words and then do a whole argument.
Terry, did he not say we've scored 18 goals this season? Our biggest problem has been the goals that we've been conceding. Did you say...
No, I said it's our structure and our system and the manager. Terry knows this. I said 80% aren't...
Well, to be honest, I don't know if he said this or not, so I'm literally just played it from a random point, but I know they're going to get into the Arsenal-Chelsea players bit soon anyway.
What?
Yeah, but your defense hasn't been your defense hasn't been good enough, right? So I can use the same logic for me, right?
But I don't believe it's the defense.
Hold on, Hussam. My centre backs don't give me the confidence, right, that I want in order to come here and sit with a chest. You can't compare. You can't compare. Hold on, Terry.
Your midfield and attack and fullbacks give you the confidence.
Hold on, Terry. Yeah, you can't compare Arsenal having Hincapié and Mosquera in reserve to us having Tosin and fucking Chalobah in reserve.
Well, this is what.
But you man are world champions, though. You man are world champions. That squad won 2 trophies this year. This is where the confusion comes in. Yeah, it's because these man will win the win trophies and some trophies that you might not expect to win, but at the same time, this narrative also comes out.
Just help me to understand.
And we've been hearing this for quite a while. Even since they were going borderline relegation to what they are now, in top 4 now, title race arguably. But yeah, let's hear some more of this.
I wanted to ask you, Don. So and indulge me on this. So, how much better is Arsenal's goalkeeper Raya than your goalkeeper Sanchez? How much better do you know? What's the difference in level?
I think the main difference between them is their distribution. I think Raya is clearly better on the ball, but everything else, I look at them, they're the same.
So you think
so Sanchez and David Raya are around about the same level, basically. Okay.
Both their cross collections good. They're both very good shot stoppers, but Raya on the ball is better than Sanchez. That's not a debate for me.
So there's a marginal difference there then, just one area. Okay, marginal.
Yep.
In terms of your centre.
So I want you guys to understand, right? When you see him say who's clearly better or marginal, this is coming from a club that won 2 trophies this year. Yeah, the Europa Conference League and the Club World Cup. Yeah, whereas we have won fuck all since 2020, if you're not counting the Community Shields, that is, of course. Just hold that thought.
The backs and Arsenal's, how much better do you find are Arsenal than you in a centre back area?
I mean, Gabriel's not there.
Absolutely clear of you.
Gabriel's world class. He's better than all of our centre backs, obviously. And then for me, I think the only guy, no, bro, listen, Fofana can go bar for bar, these guys, but the only problem is his injury record. That's the only thing that brings that.
We heard this a few years ago. I remember hearing, so-and-so could be better than an Arsenal player, but it's just injuries, mate. We've been hearing that. Been hearing that quite a lot. I think it was about Lavia and somebody else he was comparing. And the narrative was, if the player stays fit. Anyways, let's let him carry on.
That guy down. But when you talk about the depth, their depth is better than us, Terry, bro. Like, their centre-backs is top.
But how much better? Because I asked this because you've said on a number of occasions.
It's clearly better.
Clearly better.
The centre-back depth is clearly better, yeah.
Okay. So then when you look at the midfield, are you clearly better than their midfield or is it marginal?
I mean, obviously with Palmer in there, I think we're clearly better than them. I think we'll create more chances than them. You know what I'm saying? I think we're more fluid than them. I think we play through our midfield better than them. Right? We've got Caicedo, who's better than everything that they've got in there. You know what I'm saying, bro?
On a defensive level, okay, cool. Yeah. And then in the attacking front, are you clearly better than them or is it marginal?
Nah, I wouldn't say clearly better. But I predicted us to score more goals than them in our attack.
Okay. So this is the thing for me. When and your fullbacks, you've said yours are better, clearly better or marginal?
I would say marginal.
Okay.
Marginal. I would say recent Timber, elite defensively, but Reece going the other way is clearly better than him, right? If you want the whole package, Reece James is your guy. And then at left back, I think Cucurella's clearly better than whatever they've got on that side, bro. Calafori's been good this season, but bro, I think Cucurella's clearly better.
So these men are in a title race then. These men are in a title race comfortably. Like really and truly, these men, number one, have to win something this season. Number two, no lower than second. If it's marginal, so far everything's marginal. I mean, Chelsea have won today. At the time of recording this, they've beaten Burnley, and we've got them next. We've got Chelsea next. So, yeah, no complaints. There should be no complaints then.
Okay, so Timber and Reece quite close. Cucurella clearly better. See, this is where I look at the expectations, though, because this is what I've heard from you. Attack is fairly similar. Your midfield is clear. Their centre backs are clear. Fullbacks, it's close, but one of yours is clear. Goalkeepers, is a marginal difference. So when I look at that and go, you've got one area in your mind that's clear over them, it's midfield, which I think is the most important area for a football team. Their centre-backs are clear of yours, but every other area, you're either better than them or they're only marginally better than you. I don't understand why you wouldn't have a very similar level of expectation that you should be trying to win what they're winning when you believe your squad are by and large the same.
Terry,
Don, can I ask you a question? Let me ask you a question. I have to ask you a question. I have to ask you. I refuse.
I mean, even Terry's got a point. I mean, he fumbled his words there when he said winning what they're winning because we ain't winning shit. We haven't been winning shit, but I get what he was saying, but that the expectations should be the same for Chelsea as it is for us. Seeing as though you ain't that far behind, and you've won 2 trophies this year. You beat PSG, who stopped us from getting to a Champions League final, stopped the title chasing Arsenal from reaching a Champions League final, and Chelsea dispatched them 3-0 in America for the Club World Cup. And now there's going to be an excuse as to why the expectations aren't the same as ours. Really?
Get some help. Get some help.
You know what I mean? You couldn't make this up, could you?
Who's better, Maresca or Arteta?
Bro, don't ask me stupid questions, bro. I prefer Maresca's style of play, bro. That's
there you
number
go,
one.
then.
Yeah?
So on
But
top
anyway,
of all that, your manager is better.
let's go.
The only reason why Arsenal must cap
Hold
is
on.
Gabriel.
That doesn't mean that I don't rate Arteta.
Am I crazy?
No, but you said you said it was a stupid question for him to ask Maresca or Arteta, and you said you like Maresca's style of play better. So, but in other words, you think Maresca's better, which is fair enough. The point of the matter is how then are your expectations the same, if not exceeding Arsenal's?
Stop it. Get some help. Get some help.
That's the $1 million question at this point. Why aren't your expectations the same, if not exceeding Arsenal's? You know what I mean? If all this is close or you've got better, anyways, let's let him carry on.
Husam, can I ask you something, bro? Can you prefer a manager's style of play to another manager's style of play, bro? Just yes or no?
Yeah.
Do you prefer Dyche's style of play, or do you prefer Ange's style of play, for example? Not even Ange. Let me use a better example. Slot style of play.
Slot, of course.
There we go then. So if I prefer my manager's style of play, if I prefer my style of play,
forget style of play. Forget style of play, because I hang on a minute, guys, because I prefer watching how De Zerbi plays football, but I don't think he's a better manager than Jose Mourinho. So who do you think's better? Who do you think is a better manager of a team and club, Maresca or Arteta? Forget style of play. Who's the better coach? Who's the better guy in your opinion?
I'm sorry, bro. You're talking about a manager right now who's basically got everything that he needs, right?
Wait, here we go. See,
Hey,
there you go. He can't do it. He just can't bring himself to
I've seen him do it.
There you go. You know what I mean? There you go. So, apart from our centre backs, which he's saying is clearly better than theirs, Timber and Reece James is more complete, and Cucurella is better than any left back that we can put at left back. Their midfield's better than ours if Palmer's fit, and in their attack, it's close. And then when it comes to the manager, now he prefers his manager's style of play. But then when it's put on him, okay, so who do you prefer overall, as the manager?
Gotcha, bitch.
That's where we are. He can't bring himself to say Maresca's better, because he knows he'll then have to admit why are we not in the title race as strongly as Arsenal? Why aren't we the ones that's finishing in the top 2? Why is our expectations not to win the league? I'm telling you, we are not ready FC. That's what these men are.
Maresca hasn't got everything that he needs.
So Maresca doesn't have everything he needs. So that's what's holding him back now. They've just won 2 trophies this year. One of them being the Club World Cup. Yeah? Which they're going to hold on to for the next 4 years. Beating the European champions PSG in the final. And now he's saying, well, Maresca's not got his full squad, mate. We don't have what Arteta's got. You know what I mean? So he's better than Arteta, but he just doesn't have what Arteta has. Hence, our squads that's not really that much different from each other, or better than each other, keeps consistently finishing higher than you, man. Bear in mind, you man have won 2 trophies this year. You're still not ready for the talk of the league title.
Hey, you ain't going too goddamn far now.
You couldn't make this up, could you? But you know, we'll all remember this.
Pokeball, go!
It's an unfair comparison.
Hang on. No, Jay White's not unfair. No.
Unfair. You won 2 trophies this year. Yeah, right? And it's unfair comparison. All right.
No, it doesn't make sense. It makes no sense.
You're asking me like 3-4 questions, bro. Right? Give me their fucking centre backs. Give me their centre backs and give. No. Let me finish.
It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant.
I'll do a tardy now. Let me finish. Yeah.
It's irrelevant though.
Centre backs. Give me their centre backs and give them my centre backs, and they are where we are.
That doesn't change anything. It doesn't.
Well, you guys have just come off the back of winning 2 trophies. I'm gonna keep reminding these man of this. Yeah. Because when all said and done, that's what they're gonna remind everybody. Yeah. You man have come off the back of 2 trophies. You got no excuse whatsoever. You man should be exceeding us. Yeah? You man should be exceeding us. You know what I mean? Like, if we win tomorrow, we're 6 clear of you. If we win tomorrow. What's your excuse? What's the excuse to go in Old Trafford and not getting a win? Like, what's the excuse? What's the excuse losing at home to Sunderland? But if we here's where I'll have to give super tets, let's call him, at Mikel Arteta, yeah, super tets to the toxic positives. Here's where I'll have to give super tets the credit for last season, yeah, is all the injuries that we had, we finished second. Yeah, not that second is really an achievement, but I say that to say this. He's talking about how, well, Maresca doesn't have what Arteta has. So basically what he's trying to insinuate is he either, because of the injured players that are in their squad that can't be in the squad to play, that's holding him back. And yeah, the transfers is holding them back. Otherwise, everything's better than Arsenal's. Everything's better than Arsenal's. You know, we'd have everything if Maresca had what Arteta has. Bear in mind, what with that team, Maresca won 2 trophies. When we had injuries galore, Arteta finished second. But give them what we have, and yeah, honestly, you couldn't make this up, guys. You couldn't make it up.
That doesn't. Hang on there.
They have
Don, wait a second. Don, please just wait. I don't want to go down that path because it's not the point. Forget how good your squad is on there. No, forget how good their squad is. Forget how good or bad yours is. Who's the better coach? If they both had the same equal squad, which coach do you think's coming out on top?
Bro, listen, I'm not answering. I plead the fifth.
You couldn't make this up. I haven't watched as far as this, by the way, but you couldn't make this up. Man's pleading the fifth. Everything even. Which manager's better? He can't bring himself to say it. He can't bring himself to say, because if he says Maresca's better, then everything he's saying goes out the window, and it should be a case of, well, you lot should be keeping up with these man comfortably. Everything else you say is out the window, because you've already said the squads aren't that much different in terms of quality. Like, we're not that much better than you. You're not much better than us. Whatever. Yeah, and you've got some players that are better than ours, and everything like that. But if you say the manager's better, because you notice what he hasn't said. Have you noticed what he has not said one time, Don Souness? And notice what he's not said, because he can't say it, because it will destroy everything. He's not saying what I'm saying, that they've won 2 trophies this year. He can't say it. Even though it's a fact, he can't go on there and say, well, apart from Arsenal centre-backs, everything else is close, and our midfield's better if Palmer's fit. Then he can't say our manager's better, and we won 2 trophies last year, because then he'd have to then just explain why the expectations for Chelsea is different to ours. He can't do it. That's why he could have easily said right there and then, when that question was asked. No, in fact, let me go back. I want to see if you, man, yeah, this ain't live, but you, man, can put it in the chat, right? How do you think he should respond to what Terry asked him?
Think's coming out on. Who's the better coach? If they both had the same equal squad, which coach do you think's coming out on top?
Now, what do you... Oh, I didn't even show you guys, but let me just go back again.
A coach is forget how good or bad yours is. Who's the better coach? If they both had the same equal squad, which coach do you think's coming out on top?
What do you think he should say? What do you guys think he should say to that? But he can't say it. He can't say what he should say. Yeah? His answer should be, all things even, Arteta versus Maresca. Maresca's clear because we don't have what Arteta has and we won 2 trophies this year. That's what he should say. That is the correct answer from his point of view. If we both have even squads, if we both have the same thing, he should say Maresca comes out on top because he won 2 trophies last year. He won one with a second squad, arguably, and then the Club World Cup, he beat PSG, the European champions, in that final in America. Arteta's done nothing with his squad, but if we have what he has, Maresca's clearly better because Maresca did that, and we don't have what Arteta has. That's what he should be saying. He can't say it. He can't bring himself to say it. Why? Because their expectations is not on our level. But it should be. It should be even higher. Yeah? But it's just not rife in that club. The expectations should be what ours is. Because they know if they put that expectation on and they finish 3rd, 4th, 5th, it makes them look stupid. That's why. That's why he won't say it. He can't say it. That's why he's pleading the 5th. He can't do it. He can't afford to do it. Because Chelsea fans know we shouldn't be in this position, but if we try and hype ourselves up, we'll just get let down again. So to feel better, I might as well just say, well, we're not in a title race, so that when we do fall off, we've got a justification of we're not in the title race anyway. I know how this works, you know. I know how this works. You know what I mean? I know how this works. Anyways.
Bro, listen, I'm not answering. I plead the 5th. I plead the 5th.
Struggling.
No, because you're asking me a load. You're trying to ask me a load.
It's not that. No, that's not a loaded question, fam. That ain't a loaded question. A loaded question would be saying something like, "What do you think of potato chips?" or something like that, or "What do you think of Burnley Football Club? What do you think of this microphone?" It's like, what do you mean? Like, the quality of it, the material, what, you know what I mean? But what Terry asked you, that is not a loaded question. It's literally going by everything that was explained. You have Maresca and Arteta that have the same quality of squad. Everything's the same. Who comes out on top? He can't even bring himself to say it. He can't bring himself. He can't even afford to say that everything of theirs is better because they're not finishing above us in the first place. See, if Chelsea were finishing above us constantly, and then they won the 2 trophies that they won, then he'd have chest. But he can't because they can't even finish above us. We're in a title race more than them. We're finishing higher than them. Yeah? Despite them winning 2 trophies, he can't bring himself to say it because he doesn't believe in himself that Chelsea will even exceed Arsenal in the Premier League this season. He don't even believe that himself. You know, we've seen Sunderland go to their place and beat them. They went to Old Trafford and lost. You can't do it. Can't. So he's pleading the 5th.
I want to know who thinks better. Loaded.
I've answered it already. Yeah. If you don't want to accept my answer, that's your problem.
No,
Because I've
you
already
said
told
you said
I
you prefer the
prefer-
style of
I
play.
prefer
Not who's the better
Maresca
manager.
style of play
I love
to
plays that
Arteta's.
cop out
And
the
you
answer.
give Maresca those centre backs that they have, right? It's a fucking different conversation that we're having.
So he just said, you give Maresca the centre backs that we have, it's a different conversation. Alright, okay. So that's where he's wanting to go. Basically, you know, it's a case. What he's basically saying is, it's like me saying, if I become a millionaire, watch what car I buy. You know what I mean? It's like that's basically where that's the mindset that he has when he's saying that.
This is why your logic doesn't make sense. You're refusing to. This is why your logic makes no sense. But you've also said your midfield is clear of them. So imagine if you gave Arteta your midfield, how much better they could be. The point is, this is what I'm saying. You are alluding to the fact that your squads are by and large the same. They've got one area that's clear of you centre backs. You've got one area that's clear of them central midfield. You've got one fullback that's clear of theirs. The others are very much the same. Goalkeeper, they're marginally better. The attack you think is about the same. You don't think there's too much difference in it. You've also haven't quite said it, but you've implied that you think Maresca's better. So you think your squad overall is better, the better manager. But
When I say my squad overall is better, when I say that,
Yeah, but fam, you're only giving us the centre backs. You're saying your midfield's better if Palmer's fit. The attacks, you think you'll score more goals than us, so you must think your attacking threats are better. And the fullbacks, well, one side is you're clear, and the other side, well, Reece James is more complete. So really, you think your fullbacks, if the fullbacks you think are better, the midfield you think's better, the attack you technically think is better. It's just the two centre backs. Oh, and the goalkeeper as well. You don't think there's much difference in that. And you know, you don't want to say Maresca's better because you don't have a justification for it. Even though you could just fall back on the fact that you've won trophies, but you know that what's going to happen is the conversation's going to be, well, why are you not finishing above him in the Premier League? Blah blah blah.
Who? What? You have to, because of what you said. I'll repeat it. Attack's the same. Your midfield is clear. Their centre backs are clear. So your attack's the same. Your midfield is clear. You said their centre backs were clear. Your fullbacks come in clear because you have one fullback that's better clear and one that's the same. And then you think that the goalkeepers, there's only a marginal difference. So there's only one area you think is clear.
but hold on. Terry, you've asked me this before, and I've told you already. The main difference between Chelsea and Arsenal is our centre backs. That is the main difference.
Shut your bitch ass up before I get to talking shit about you.
So Arsenal are consistently finishing above Chelsea because of our centre backs, basically. The only difference between us and them is centre backs. Okay. All right.
That is the main difference. You give me that centre back depth, and I'm coming in with chest. Bro. You know what I mean,
the
bro?
rest
So
of the team, I don't understand. But equally,
I'm not angry with the
then why doesn't their midfield let them down? So why are you putting that pressure though? So this is the point that doesn't make sense to anybody. I hear you. If you had their centre backs, you would be a better team. Of course you would, because that's improving an area that you've got weak. But you're saying your midfield is clear of their midfield. So
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what my midfield does when we're fucking conceding 7 goals directly.
That's irrelevant. That's absolutely irrelevant.
It's not irrelevant, bro. It's not irrelevant.
You haven't let me finish. Why you don't?
Didn't you say Caicedo's better than anything that we've got? Shouldn't Caicedo be one of your first line of defence to help the centre backs? Seems like he can do everything that our midfield can't. Because Caicedo meant to be clear of Declan Rice. This is where his argument's falling apart now. And man like Terry Flewers, yeah, you know what? I'm going to give him a Don DeMarco because the Arsenal peddling, yeah, it does lead to this as well.
How are you trying to dismiss the fact? Yeah, how are you trying to dismiss the fact that Chelsea have 7 right 7
Nothing to
goals
do with you.
directly from mistakes. We have conceded 7 goals directly from mistakes.
Right.
And our centre backs,
But that's
every
irrelevant.
single panel, every
irrelevant.
single show I'm doing,
Irrelevant.
every single time I'm speaking. No, it's very relevant, bro.
No, not
Because
to my point. It's
we-
irrelevant to my point. So
no,
continue.
it's very relevant. It's very relevant.
Finish,
to what I'm
finish,
saying.
but you don't know what I'm about to say. So you've no idea what I'm about to say. So you don't know if it's relevant. But finish what you're saying.
Finish
and I'll
it. Finish
speak
what you're
again.
saying then. Finish what you're saying then.
What I'm saying is, you're saying Arsenal must, but yet you pull holes in their squad, and their midfield ain't good enough here. This needs to improve. That is
So Chelsea must.
right, which is fair. You're
How
allowed
about
to.
with the midfield shit, Terry? I've just said mine's better.
I didn't say it was shit, but you're saying it's clear. So your expectations of Chelsea, when you've got multiple areas of the pitch that's clear and a better manager, but yet you have so much more expectation on Arsenal, I think you put that pressure on Arsenal because you want to shit on them. I don't think you believe Arsenal what in the league.
Now you're capping though, because where have I said that Arsenal are a team that are going to be challenging for top 4, or Arsenal are a team that are going to get?
I didn't say that either. I didn't say you said it.
But the thing is though, we're in the same places then. You need to remember, right? Let's go back a little bit. Now, because people are still talking as if there's like a big difference between Chelsea and Arsenal. The reality is there isn't. Yeah. Last season we closed what was it? The season before that, I think they finished over 25 points ahead of us, right? Last season, for a good chunk of the season, was above them. They finished 5 points ahead of us. Lucky for them, they had Marino that could fucking finish their chances. We had Jackson that kept missing. Guys like Madueke that kept missing, right? In the end,
It's the same players that you'd said it was better than some of ours, no doubt. Hang on a minute. Wasn't Jackson meant to be better than Kai Havertz? Wasn't it him? Was it him that was saying that? I know there was somebody that was saying it.
I've seen him do it.
There was somebody that was saying it. You know what I mean? And Moreno's a better finisher than Kai Havertz, in my opinion, anyway. And you were getting beat out to Moreno. Psh.
and we left in the same place, Terry, 5 points below them. We both got Champions League. Difference is I left with glory. Not
Oh, now he's mentioning it. Now he's mentioning the glory.
once, but twice, right?
Right, so you got no excuse now. Now your expectations should be way higher than ours. It should be way higher now. Because you, man, were damn near fighting relegation a few years ago. You know what I mean? With this glory that you left with not once, but twice, this season, you must. You know what I mean? Because I know we must.
This season, we've gone into the season with Colwell getting injured straight away. We didn't bring in a centre back. I was telling you all summer, we're competing. I wasn't running away from that. So I was putting myself in the same place as Arsenal, right? But I have to be honest, my confidence has gone down ever since I've seen our centre back situation, bro.
Okay.
And that's what I've said to you. In order for us to keep up with these guys and compete with these guys, we need to keep our centre back.
You say
There's always something in there. There's always something that is lacking. They'll win trophies along the way, but then they'll still come up and say, "Oh, but if we have this,
You shut up.
Final point. Hold on, Terry.
Sorry,
That
Tom.
is the only difference for me. I don't look at Arsenal.
Fine. Only difference. So like you just said a minute ago, though, this is why I get confused by what you say, because you say one thing and then you say you mean something else. So you're saying there really isn't that big a difference between you guys.
No, I don't think there is.
Then if they must win the league, you at least must be really pushing and challenging close to the end. If there's not much difference between you.
he's speaking facts there.
Then the expectations can't be too different.
I'm sorry, Terry. You're undermining.
No. If there is, but then if you're saying,
Come on, bigger than yours.
your centre backs bring you that far down, that means there has to be a bigger gap between the two of you. You can't have a small gap between how good they are. Yes, but that's irrelevant. You can't say there's a small gap. It isn't. Let me finish. You can't say there's a small gap between both your teams, and Arsenal must win the league, but there not be an expectation on Chelsea to push Arsenal right until the end if there's only a small gap between you.
Exactly. Why aren't you, man? Well, you're 3 points behind us at the moment. If we win tomorrow, it increases to 6 going into the game against you guys. But You know, you man should be at least close to us all season. You man should be. If you ain't gonna win the league, you should be finishing second, in my opinion. They can't bring themselves to say that, because then they'll come out with this. Ooh, defense.
You're saying our centre backs and defending is so bad that we shouldn't be. We're a top 4 team, but we won't challenge to win. That for me is a big gap. And I'll give you an example of the big gap. If the season repeats itself for 38 games based on the opening 11, you'll finish the season 20 points behind Arsenal. That's what you're on track to finish behind them. That's a fairly large gap. So it's either you're almost as good as them, or there is a gap between you, and we just want you to say which of the two you think it is.
Bro, I don't know how many times you want me to answer this question, bro. I've told you already. The only way we're going to compete, not just with Arsenal, with Man City, if Liverpool get themselves back in there, is we need to keep Fofana fit. It's a simple.
I'm done with this. I mean, I don't want to go through the entire video anyway. But basically, it's just gonna be the same thing like, over and over and over again. You know, everything's better than ours, but when it comes to challenging now there's an excuse. Even though they've got glory not once but twice this year. You couldn't make it up, could you? Like, fam.
Crying to me, and I'm not having it.
Anyways, I'm done with this reaction. I'm going out tonight, so I was gonna do some FIFA streaming, but I'm just gonna set this to premiere this evening anyway. But yeah, obviously I'll be here tomorrow night. Tomorrow evening for the North London derby, where we better get over the line in that game. And yeah, I'll be back for Alexis Blackches. So I'll probably do an episode 2 tomorrow morning or something like that. Definitely before the game anyway. So stay tuned, guys. Like the video, comment, subscribe. What do you think of Don CFC Souness? On his takes. Do you agree with him? Disagree with him? Put it in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
And if anyone wants to have a come at me,
Come and find me. I'm in the car park now.
because I'm a black belt in karate,
Stop the cap.
come and have a pop.
I don't think you have the facilities for that, big man.